Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something really fascinating: why the most successful people invest in international travel, cultural experiences, and global networking opportunities. We're going to unpack the hidden habits of the world's top leaders and entrepreneurs. We'll find out exactly why they are constantly on the move, and more importantly, how you can apply these exact strategies to your own life.
So let's start with a really simple question. Is international travel just for vacations? Think about it for a second. Have you ever paused to wonder why so many highly successful entrepreneurs, innovators, and business leaders are always flying across the globe? I mean, is it really just for luxury, taking a break, or maybe just going to routine, boring business meetings? We usually assume travel is just an escape, right? Well, as we're going to see, that assumption completely misses the mark.
And here is the core mindset shift. For most people out there, travel is just an expense. It's a sunk cost, a really expensive luxury. But for the world's absolute most successful people, it is a high-yield investment. They aren't just throwing money away to escape their lives. No, they're investing their resources to gain powerful new perspectives, build massive global networks, and foster deep personal growth. Basically, every trip offers valuable, real-world experiences that you literally cannot get in a classroom or by just staring at your laptop screen.
Okay, let's look at the return on investment framework for this. We're tracking 4 concrete dividends today: perspective and adaptability, emotional intelligence, global networking, and innovation. Let's jump right in.
Starting with our first dividend, the power of perspective and seeing the world differently.
You see, when you step off a plane in a totally new country, you are instantly immersed in new cultures, unfamiliar traditions, radically different business practices, and new technologies and lifestyles. Suddenly, you're navigating a bustling street market in Marrakesh or trying to figure out the subway system in Tokyo. And what does that do? It forces your brain completely out of autopilot. Instead of seeing the world from just one rigid point of view, you start to appreciate just how massive and beautifully varied our world actually is. This literally trains your brain to adapt seamlessly to entirely different environments.
And that leads to what psychologists actually call cognitive flexibility. Success often begins with seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. When you've personally witnessed how someone halfway across the globe solves a really complex problem, you get to bring that localized genius right back home with you. You're no longer boxed in by the obstacles in your immediate environment.
Moving on to dividend number 2, building your emotional intelligence by connecting with diverse people.
Highly successful people know that communication is their absolute best asset. Navigating new languages and customs? That is a real-time masterclass in human connection. Patience, respect, adaptability, cultural awareness. These aren't just fancy corporate buzzwords you put on a resume. They are essential survival skills forged directly from the friction and the flow of international travel.
Now, what's really interesting is how we define emotional intelligence here. It's the ability to understand people, communicate effectively, and build trust. This entirely elevates emotional intelligence from just being some HR term to the absolute foundation of how the world's top performers operate. Because whether you're negotiating a massive high-stakes business deal, studying abroad, applying for super competitive jobs, or leading a team spread across 3 continents, these intrapersonal skills are the exact tools you're going to use to build trust and actually get things done.
All right, let's hit our third dividend. Global networks open doors, creating ungoogleable opportunities.
Consider this really simple truth for a moment. One conversation can change your life. Seriously, let that sink in. A totally chance encounter in a foreign coffee shop can launch a career trajectory that you literally could not map out on a spreadsheet if you tried. All around the world, millions of massive opportunities are created purely through these organic, serendipitous relationships. But we have to remember, there is a massive difference between just blindly collecting business cards and building genuine relationships based on trust. Global networking is an active pursuit, not a passive one. Think about it. So many of the most successful businesses, investments, and careers started simply because 2 people built real trust, face-to-face, thousands of miles away from home. The more people you authentically connect with globally, the more incredibly unique opportunities you create for your own future.
And that brings us to our final dividend: innovation through global exposure, importing and adapting new ideas.
You know, successful entrepreneurs travel specifically for this. It actually breaks down into a really repeatable 3-step formula. Step 1, observation abroad. Step 2, inspiration. And step 3, new business opportunity. You look closely at how other countries solve everyday challenges. A simple observation sparks a brilliant idea. and then you adapt that idea to create a brand new product back home. Fun fact, did you know the idea for Red Bull was actually adapted from a local energy drink that an entrepreneur observed while he was traveling in Thailand? I mean, that is global innovation in action right there.
So, the crucial point here is that the world's best ideas often come from people who never stop learning. Your passport? It's basically an endless catalog of raw materials for your next big idea. By exposing yourself to the whole globe, you're constantly feeding your brain with the exact ingredients needed for profound innovation.
Which naturally leads us to the end goal here, starting your international journey, which is the ultimate investment in yourself.
At the end of the day, this is about profound personal transformation. Just like a sapling growing into this deeply rooted tree, you gain quiet confidence, incredibly expansive knowledge, and a global mindedness that accelerates your personal growth in ways staying on your couch never ever could. Every culture broadens your understanding, every conversation expands your network, and every single journey teaches you something new. It's all about becoming a much better, significantly more capable version of yourself.
So if you are ready to actually make this investment, Travul is your catalyst. Let Travul help you explore incredible travel opportunities, amazing study abroad options, essential visa guidance, and unforgettable global experiences. They basically help open doors you might not have even known existed. Whether your personal goal is to grow a business, study in a new country, or build a highly successful career, using a service like this is the actionable step that can actively shape your future.
Because ultimately, the world is full of opportunities. But the very first step, that's having the courage to actually go out and explore it. Your next journey could very well be the genesis of your greatest success. So I'll leave you with this. Where are you going to invest your time next? Thanks so much for exploring this topic with us on today's Explainer, and we will definitely see you next time.